Hello students, I am teacher Svetlana and in our today's lecture, we will learn about the factors affecting photosynthesis, both the external factors and internal factors which are responsible for the changes in the rate of photosynthesis, and all this is covered in the chapter photosynthesis. So let's begin. Students, like all other physiological processes, photosynthesis is also influenced by a number of factors. Let us have a look at these. First, we will have a look at the external factors. The first factor responsible is light. It is an essential factor as it supplies the energy necessary for photosynthesis. Both quality and intensity of the light affects photosynthesis. Students, highest rate of photosynthesis takes place in the red rays and then comes to the blue rays. Have a look at this image here. You can see the rate of photosynthesis is quite high here in the red region, and then again it becomes high in the blue region. Now, in a forest canopy, the rate of photosynthesis decreases considerably in the plants growing under it. For example, have a look at this image here. You can see here the plants that are in shade, the rate of photosynthesis is much less as compared to the plants that are in the sun. So here you can see the rate of photosynthesis is much high. Now, in most of the plants, photosynthesis is maximum in bright diffused sunlight. It decreases in strong light and again slows down in the light of very low intensity. It has also been found that uninterrupted and continuous photosynthesis for relatively long periods of time may be sustained without any visible damage to the plants. Have a look at this image here. You can see here this is a graph showing you the rate of photosynthesis against the light intensity. You can see here when there is plenty of warmth and carbon dioxide also, you have the rate of photosynthesis goes on well till a plateau is reached. Here you can also see is further increase in the intensity does not increase the rate of photosynthesis. So at such time the other factors, that is the carbon dioxide or temperature, has to be increased to increase the rate of photosynthesis. The next factor is carbon dioxide. The main source of carbon dioxide in land plants is the atmosphere, which contains only 0.3% of the gas. Under normal conditions of temperature and light, carbon dioxide acts as a limiting factor in photosynthesis. Have a look at this image here, students. You can see here this is the rate of photosynthesis and this is the concentration of your CO2. So with increase in concentration, there is an increase in the rate till the time it reaches a plateau where any further increase in the concentration does not increase the rate of photosynthesis. So here the limiting factor will now be the sunlight or the temperature, that is increase or changes in the sunlight or temperature will only now increase the rate of photosynthesis. As increase in concentration of CO2 increases photosynthesis, the increase in CO2 to about 1% is generally advantageous to most of the plants. High concentration of gas has an inhibitory effect on photosynthesis. Next external factor is the temperature. Like all other physiological processes, photosynthesis also needs a suitable temperature. In the presence of plenty of light and carbon dioxide, photosynthesis increases with a rise in temperature till it becomes maximum. Have a look at this image here. You can see that the rate of photosynthesis is increasing with increase in temperature, but only till a point where it becomes maximum. After that there is a decrease. You can see here there is a decrease or drop in the rate of the process. Now this decrease is due to the enzymes getting destroyed at high temperature. So where you have the maximum reaction rate of photosynthesis taking place, that temperature is called as optimum temperature. Normally it is between 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. However, there are certain plants like Opuntia where photosynthesis takes place at temperatures as high as 55 degrees Celsius also. The temperature at which the process just starts is called as the minimum temperature. The next external factor affecting the rate of photosynthesis is water. Being one of the raw material, water is also necessary for the process of photosynthesis. An increase in water content of the leaf results in the corresponding increase in the rate of photosynthesis. Thus, the limiting effect of water is not direct but indirect. It is mainly due to the fact that it helps in maintaining the turgidity of the assimilatory cells and the proper hydrations of their protoplasm. So these were the external factors responsible for affecting the rate of photosynthesis. Now students, we have seen the external factors, that is light, temperature, carbon dioxide concentrations, oxygen concentrations, water. All these affects the rate of photosynthesis. Now we will have a look at the internal factors which affect the rate of photosynthesis. That includes the chlorophyll content, internal structure of the leaves, accumulations of the end products. Those students, the presence of chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis, but the rate of photosynthesis is proportional to the quantity of chlorophyll present. It is because of the fact that chlorophyll merely acts as a biocatalyst, and hence a small quantity of it is quite enough to maintain large bulk of the reacting substances. The final products in the photosynthesis reaction is sugar, and its accumulation in the cell slows down the process of photosynthesis. The thickness of the cuticle and the epidermis of the leaf, the size and distribution of the intracellular space, and the distribution of the stromata and the development of collenchyma and other tissues also affect the rate of photosynthesis. And the next thing that affects the rate of photosynthesis is the Blackman's law of limiting factor. Now, the law of limiting factor says that photosynthesis will only proceed at the rate determined by the factor in shortest supply. Now, students, the Blackman's law of limiting factor states that when a process is conditioned as to its rapidity by the number of separate factors, the rate of the process is controlled by the pace of the slowest factor. So here we can see that the rate of photosynthesis is affected by multiple factors, like we saw light, temperature, CO2 concentrations, then the amount of water. So there are multiple factors which are responsible to affect the rate of photosynthesis. So what is this law of limiting factor telling us? That at a given time, the factor which is in less supply is the factor which will determine the rate of photosynthesis. So let me repeat the law for you. When a process depends on two or more factors, the rate of that process is limited by the factor which is in shortest supply. Now, the rate of photosynthesis in plants is limited by light intensity, availability of water, availability of carbon dioxide, then the availability of chlorophyll, temperature. So one of these factors, whichever is in less amount, is going to be our limiting factor or the rate determining factor for the process of photosynthesis. Students, a plant physiologist Blackman studied on the limiting factors on the photosynthesis system of plants. He stated that the biological factors are affected by a number of factors, but the amount in which they affect the whole process is different. Let us take an example of photosynthesis. Plants require adequate amounts of water, sunlight, chloroplast, temperature, carbon dioxide, and chlorophyll to carry out photosynthesis. The scarcity of any one of these components will affect the process of photosynthesis. Any physiological process which is affected by more than one factor is governed by the law of limiting factor. A factor which is present in less quantity is the limiting factor. Now students, have a look at this graph here. You can see here you have the rate of photosynthesis on your y-axis against the concentration of carbon dioxide on the x-axis. Now suppose a plant is photosynthesizing at fixed light intensity sufficient to utilize 10 micrograms of carbon dioxide per hour only, then an increase in the CO2 concentration here. Have a look. An increase in the CO2 concentration will increase the rate of photosynthesis to a point where the rate of photosynthesis will become constant. That is, any further increase in the concentration of carbon dioxide is not now affecting the rate of photosynthesis. So here now the limiting factor will become either the light or temperature. So here you have to either make a changes in the intensity of light to further increase the rate of photosynthesis. So here now light becomes your limiting factor. Have a look at this graph here also. In the same way, here you have your light intensity. So rate of photosynthesis is increasing with increase in the light intensity to a point where it becomes constant and a plateau is reached. So now here the limiting factor will become your concentration of carbon dioxide. So you have to increase the concentration of carbon dioxide to further increase this reactions. You can also then further change the temperature to further increase the rate of reaction. So when the rate of the process becomes constant due to the limiting factor, it can be regulated by regulating the amount of the factor only which is limiting. So students, here this evidently shows that photosynthetic rate responds to one factor alone at a time, and there would be a sharp break in the curve and a plateau formed exactly at the point where the another factor becomes limiting. So here a plateau is formed when the another factor becomes your limiting factor. So when you increase it, the rate of photosynthesis will increase again, reaching an optimum where again another factor will then become the limiting factor. Significance of photosynthesis: this anabolic process uses inorganic substances and produce food for all life directly or indirectly. This process transforms solar energy into chemical energy. The released byproduct oxygen is necessary not only for aerobic respirations in living organisms but also used in forming protective ozone layer around the earth. This process is also helping us in providing fossil fuels, coal, petroleum and natural gas. So these images show us the significance and the role or the importance of the process of photosynthesis to the environment. Thank you students for participating in this lecture. See you soon again with the next topic. Till then, take care, be safe and keep learning.